You can disagree with me all you want, but I'm just telling you the way it is. And I get that you don't agree with me and you think I'm not telling the truth, but that's, unless they're lying to me, and you can say they are, so who? Okay. So apparently you know more than I do.
That's Republican Representative Rich McCormick of Georgia at a town hall in his home district of Roswell, explaining to his constituents that DOGE employees have the same limited access to sensitive government information that he has as a congressman. McCormick facing tough questions last night, not only about DOGE, but also about layoffs and firings at the CDC, which has offices in Atlanta, Georgia. Scenes like this are playing out at congressional town halls across the country. White House spokesperson Carolyn Leavitt reacting to those sessions outside the White House.
I love how the media takes a few critics when the overwhelming response from the American people is support for what this administration is doing. If you look at the public polling, 70% of Americans, according to CBS, believe that President Trump is delivering on the promises he made. And there should be no secret about the fact that this administration is committed to cutting waste, fraud, and abuse. The president campaigned on that promise. Americans elected him on that promise, and he's actually delivering on it.
And for more on this story, let's bring in our senior political correspondent, Charles Benson in Milwaukee. Charles, thank you for being here. I understand that you were at a town hall that turned contentious in Wisconsin's 5th congressional district yesterday. It's a fairly solidly Republican district. So who was at this listening session, and what were they saying about President Trump's first month in office?
Nate, great to be with you. You get a chance to talk to members of Congress on Capitol Hill. This is a chance for voters to talk to their member of Congress through these listening sessions, through these town halls. They're fairly traditional. They happen throughout the year. But when there are big issues happening in Washington, D.C., you tend to get bigger crowds. At this particular event, for Republican Scott Fitzgerald, he was listening to constituents who were very concerned about what they have seen so far in the first month of the Trump administration, specifically around the issue of Elon Musk and DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, and sort of the access that Musk and his team are having with the federal government and federal programs. And what their number one theme that I heard from this listening session is that people in the audience want to know, what is Congress's role here? Where's the oversight? Where's the questioning of what's happening? Listen to some of their questions.
We cannot just sit back and wait. Right. Things are happening at warp speed, illegal things that are having consequences right now. And we need you.
Elon Musk is ignoring a bunch of financial stuff. He is in the Treasury. He is trying to get access to our tax returns. Are you going to subpoena him at some point? Or after you're done with the budget or whatever, are you willing to use your subpoena power to say, Musk, come in here, stand in front of Congress, and answer some hard questions? That is how you can hold them to account.
And so, Nate, there were about 100 people at this listening session. It was the second one of the day for the congressmen. And you can tell from some of the folks in the room that they are not supporters of President Trump, but they are concerned that they want something more out of their congressman. Now, Congressman Fitzgerald tells me he does hear a lot of concerns around sort of privacy issues, security issues, in terms of what sort of access does Elon Musk have to these important and sensitive federal programs. But even as he tried to answer some questions around DOGE and around Elon Musk, he got feedback and pushback from people in the audience. Listen to Congressman Fitzgerald.
Certainly the discussion in and around DOGE, and with the probationary moves that have already been done, they're going to have to be scrutinized at some point by That's your job. No. By the Ways and Means Committee, where the expenditures would be made, and by the other standing committees. We're not in that position right now.
So, Nate, Congressman Fitzgerald's point here is that, look, we're 3 weeks into this. Yes, it's been a month since President Trump took the oath of office. But he says it's been about 3 weeks since we've seen a lot of the activity around DOGE and Elon Musk and sort of what's happening with these federal budgets, about the layoffs, the cutbacks. And he believes that what he's seeing so far around what he is concerned about, how government spends money, this is Congressman Fitzgerald, that he likes what he's seeing so far out of this effort to take a deep dive into federal spending. But he also says there will be congressional oversight on this, and he believes the cabinet secretaries will also put eyes on things that are coming out of DOGE. Nate?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, Charles. I feel like all day, every day, that's the kind of question I have for members, the exact sorts of things that you're hearing from some of these constituents. And the answer that we repeatedly have gotten from Republican members of Congress who are in the majority is, you know, we got to give Elon and Trump kind of wide berth to make some of these changes. Interesting to see Congressman Fitzgerald kind of moderate that messaging there, saying, well, you know, the committees probably should be looking into this. But again, by no means is this only happening in Wisconsin. We've seen, again, that fairly viral video this morning from yesterday's town hall with Republican Representative Rich McCormick in Georgia. But my biggest question is, were there supporters of former President Trump in the room yesterday, or was this kind of a coordinated mobilization of Wisconsin Democrats who are just looking for a venue to speak out?
A couple thoughts there. This was a coordinated effort by the Democrats that are in Congressman Fitzgerald's district. So they said, hey, get out there, make your voice heard, bring some signs. I, too, was looking for, where is the Trump supporter? Where is the person wearing the MAGA hat? Now, I thought I saw someone wearing a MAGA hat, but then inside the room, I didn't see or hear from anybody who spoke up in support of President Trump. Now, even as we're talking here, another Republican congressman is holding one of these listening sessions in the central part of the state, and that is Congressman Grothman, who you would know. And he was hearing pushback as well from people who were opposed to President Trump's some of these efforts, but also at this particular listening session, there were Trump supporters there talking about what they like about this first month in office. So I think as these listening sessions become more popular through the coming weeks, it's going to be interesting to me to see who does turn out at these events, and will more Trump supporters be at these events. Again, the one I was at yesterday, I did not hear from anybody who said they were there as a Trump supporter.
Yeah, Charles, I'm wondering, kind of going off the cards here, but can you think back, you know, to the 2010 town halls that we saw, constituents extremely angry over the rollout of Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. In some ways, does this feel like a similar moment, but on the shoe on the other foot?
Right. So this is when, you know, you can go to some of these listening sessions when there's not big issues going on in Congress, and you're not going to get the normal big crowds, or you're not going to get big crowds at all, like what we're seeing here. Look, there were about 100 people there. The room could have held a few more. At this event up in the central part of the state that was happening today, I'm told they had to send people away because there just wasn't enough room inside. So you're right. Go back to 2010 under the Affordable Care Act and the pushback that Democrats were getting for that particular issue. It almost seems equal in comparison, although I will say on this one, we're still on the front end. We haven't seen any results of some of the things that are coming through just yet through Congress and decisions that they would have to make, but it is almost identical.
A year and 7 months away from the 2026 midterm elections. I know that you and I are both getting excited for those. Senior political correspondent Charles Benson from Milwaukee, thank you for joining us here on Scripps News.